Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new series on this channel where I will be progressing a brand new character here with the new Ride or Die update. You can see on the screen we just recently had the update and I'm super excited to start this character because not only are we going to be able to do a new hyper-burning character, we actually get two of them in this update and I'll be working on two characters at the same time. For those who don't know, a hyper-burning character is one that levels up an extra 2 times every time it levels up, and it essentially allows us to power level a brand new character all the way from 0 to 260. Alongside a hyper-burning character leveling up really quickly, it also gives us a lot of extra rewards for the character to be really strong, so then we're not really left behind. Despite leveling up really quickly, our gear will still also be pretty strong as well. This is not the first time that we've done a hyper-burn on this channel, so if you guys are interested in different kinds of approaches and how I go about different characters, I do recommend checking out some other characters on this channel. For example, I started off my Battle Mage with a fresh account in Hyperion, creating things like my Links in Legion from scratch, and I also have a Xenon which I took as a different approach where I used as many resources as I could to get the character as strong as possible. For this hyperburn, I decided to pick Demon Avenger because I decided to keep on with my resistance theme. A lot of the characters on my channel are resistance characters, so I figured we might as well keep going. And I actually don't really know too much about Demon Avenger other than it's a unique class that uses HP as its main stat, so it should be a pretty interesting experience as well. As you guys can see right now, my character is doing something called a Terror Blink. Basically all the hyper-burning characters has this really quick way to get to level 200, where that is really when your character gets access to a lot more of the game. The Terror Blink is about 20 minutes long, it's a relatively quick power level to level 200, and it also teaches you a little bit of the things inside the game such as star forcing and IED and whatnot. For this particular series, I'm going to be trying to make it as informative as possible, so that if you guys are new to the game or just simply returning to MapleStory, I'll be trying to do my best to explain to you guys my thought processes on how I'm going to develop this character, whilst also not dumping too many resources into it, so then you guys will be able to perhaps follow along as well. Much like my Battle Mage, I'm planning to try to take this character kind of slowly in the sense that I'm not going to invest all of my account's resources into it, because as of right now, my Hyperion account is actually pretty well progressed. I do have a lot of income and I have a lot of existing resources. But for this Demon Avenger, I'm going to try to kind of treat it like a new play experience so then you guys can enjoy following along as well if you're interested. For this Demon Avenger, as you guys can see, it is pretty much a fresh level 200 at the moment, and we just got out of the Terror Blink. First thing that I'm going to do is just to get my 5th job. Getting your 5th job advancement is relatively easy. It's just a 3-part quest here that you get from the Memory Keeper. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do this, so then we can have access to not only a lot of new skills, but also access to the Arcane River shortly afterwards. And there we go guys, we finished up our 5th job advancement and we have this new V-Matrix UI that we can now access on this character. For those who haven't seen this interface before, don't worry too much about it, I'll try my best to explain it once we get there. Just know that this is going to be one of the main ways that we're going to be improving damage without spending too much money. As you can see here, at level 200 we get an extra 4 skills. Just simply putting this into the grid will give us access to 4 new skills here, and if we look into our skills grid, there they are. I'll try my best to explain the V-Matrix a little bit more once we get a little bit more in depth onto this character, so stick around if you guys would like to see that. Now before I go too far onto this character, I realized that my character pretty much has no items on it. As you guys can see here, it's literally just wearing the stuff that it spawned in with, and I did actually have a little bit of trouble killing Magnus for the 5th job advancement, so I realized I probably should have claimed this a little bit beforehand, but you can see here in this hyper-burning tab, to start off we're actually able to get a bunch of free items here. Not only do we get a character that levels up pretty quickly, we also get a lot of gear along the way that helps us level up. They do give us a bunch of different armors that we can use just to help our character progress, and as you guys can see here, I'm about to claim just this temporary CRA gear that should help us with doing a little bit more damage and surviving a little bit better in the next area. With all this temporary gear equipped, hopefully I'll be able to finish up a few of the pre-quests a little bit easier than before. I wish I did this before I cleared Magnus, but that's okay. Now that our character has a little bit of gear, let's go ahead and unlock the Arcane River. We're able to start this new quest from the Memory Keeper after finishing off our 5th job advancement, and it's relatively straightforward, especially if you've done this before. I'll see you guys in a second. And there we go, we have just quickly done our pre-quest here to unlock the Vanishing Journey, which is the first step in the Arcane River. It basically gives us access to a set of new areas here, where we'll be able to do our daily quests and just slowly progress through all these areas and get a lot stronger. Starting off with Vanishing Journey, we do have a brand new thing here called an Arcane symbol, and actually because we are a hyperburning character, we actually do get a few things here at level 200, and one of them includes a level 7 Arcane symbol. This is a pretty big free boost basically, so I'm going to go ahead and claim these, and on top of that we also get 100 node stones as well. So these are what we use and what we need to be able to push our 5th job. These arcane symbols are important for two things. The first thing is, of course, it gives us a lot of extra damage. For my character, my main stat is HP, and you guys can see here it gives me almost 20,000 HP. I don't really know how much that converts to for stat classes, but every class should be able to get something similar. And on top of that, we do get a lot of arcane power as well. Arcane power, as you guys can see here, it says 90 for me at the moment, is a stat that allows us to go through the Arcane River without taking too much damage. Every map that has mobs in it has a certain amount of Arcane Force required, and if you have not enough Arcane Force, you actually do end up taking a lot of damage and you do very little damage to the mobs. And the opposite is true as well. If you have a lot of Arcane Force, then you'll be able to take basically no damage and do a lot of damage. Thankfully for the Hyperburn, they give us a lot of symbols, and pretty much every increment they give us a level 7 symbol to start off, so this will help us progress the character pretty quickly. On top of that, we also get something called a item burning. This is a new thing for this particular event, where we're actually able to get a bunch of free items that get stronger as we complete quests. This is the first time that they've introduced it for Global MapleStory, so I'm pretty excited to see how this works out. For my Demon Avenger here, I will be claiming this item burning, and this should help this character get a lot stronger as we progress. It will give us access to a lot of new items that we didn't usually have access to early, and hopefully with these we'll be able to clear bosses and get to our goals a little bit faster. So a few things have shown up here. You can see this is the item burning interface. At each of these different levels we have a bunch of missions that we have to try to complete, and as we complete each of these missions we'll be able to improve our challenger equipment gear. When we're starting off, we get a bunch of free gear here, you guys can see. Even though the hyperburning has given us our own temporary gear, this challenger gear is slightly better. So you guys can see it gives us 3 lines of stats as well, 15 stars like the temporary gear, but they also give us Absolab gear, which is actually pretty insane. These Absolab gears, if you aren't getting carried, can take a long time to get, and the fact that they basically give us a full set straight away is insane. This is a lot of free damage that we usually don't have access to for probably up to months ahead of the time. So I'm going to put all these on and see how strong our character is. With all the challenger gear on, our character is sitting at 400k combat power, which is a pretty decent amount for a character that we literally just made. And I don't have any links in Legion on this character at the moment. As you can see here, I haven't put any links on except its existing damage link, and for my Legion as well. For the time being, I'm going to play without a Legion board just to try to keep this on parity with a new character. And yeah, this is a pretty big boost on damage for pretty much for free. And this is a pretty good amount of damage for basically for free. And let's set up some goals here with this character to start off with. There are a lot of things that we need to do, and on a new character, there's just so many things that we can get done to get this character stronger. Now, the first thing that I really want to do is simply level up. I want to try to get to level 210 or maybe even level 215 as fast as possible, because in the Arcane River, all of these areas give us 20 symbols a day, except for Vanishing Journey and Choo Choo Island. We actually have to do a interim quest here. You see here, we have Reverse City and Yum Yum Island. Once we finish these quests, the corresponding areas will give us double the symbols, which puts it at 20, I believe. So I want to try to get to level 205 first, for example, just to be able to unlock Reverse City. That way, when we do our Vanishing Journey dailies, we'll be able to get the full 20 symbols as usual. The daily quest is given by these NPCs on the map, and you can actually claim these with the new planner as well. This new Maple planner allows us to keep track of our dailies and whatnot, so I'll just be keeping this on the side. And I don't really want to start the Vanishing Journey daily just yet because, like I said, I'm not level 205 yet, and I think I can get to level 205 before reset. So what I'm going to do is, today actually is Sunday. I'm starting this event a little bit late compared to a lot of players just because I was away for the weekend. So I wasn't able to get onto the game on release. But we'll try our best to catch up a little bit here. And for today's Sunny Sunday, we actually get quite a lot of EXP from Monster Park. Even when it's not Sunday, Monster Park does give a lot of EXP now. So I do recommend you guys trying to do this as much as possible. We need to get these extra tickets, and you can buy these from the cash shop in game. They do cost a little bit more than they used to. They currently cost 7 mil per ticket, and you will need to buy 6 of them a day. I have a few of them left over from a few weeks ago, so I'll just be using these. And the buff they've given to Monster Park is basically that it gives double the EXP that it used to, and because of today's Sunny Sunday, it actually gives us quite a lot of EXP, so I'm hoping to get to level 205. I don't know exactly how much EXP these Monster Park runs will give me, but here's hoping that it gets me pretty far. It might take me a little while because my character's not too strong, but hopefully with the Challenger gear, this will be enough for us to go through the Monster Park maps with okay ease. We'll just see how it goes. And there we go. After doing just the Monster Park runs, we got 3 extra levels, which is pretty insane because of the new Monster Park buffs, on top of the fact that it is a Sunday, so the Monster Park runs are a little bit better. And on top of that, we do have a Sunny Sunday that gives us even more EXP from Monster Park. Each of the runs gave us almost 50%, which is a crazy amount of EXP. So from 200 to 209, just simply by doing Monster Park has been super awesome. That's a lot of extra EXP. I'm going to try to do Monster Park every day so that we can go for the free EXP. It is relatively easy EXP, although it did take me a little bit of time because my character isn't so strong yet. And I actually did die in the middle of one of my runs because I didn't realize how squishy this character is sometimes. So I need to keep that in mind in case I run into those bosses again at the very end of the Monster Park. Didn't think I'd die on camera on Monster Park, that's for sure. Didn't think my first death on this character would be in Monster Park. Like I said earlier, because we are now past level 205, we'll be able to unlock Reverse City. And the main reason for this one is just simply so that we can get more symbols from our Vanishing Journey dailies. Usually when you finish your dailies, you'll be able to get 20 symbols, except for Vanishing Journey, where you only get 10 until you finish Reverse City. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and do this little cutscene, and I'll see you guys in a second. Now that we have our Reverse City pre-quest done, I'll start off with one of my dailies. I can actually now go ahead and do Vanishing Journey. And this will be mostly so that we can get our free 20 symbols or so. I don't know how long these 600 mobs are going to take me, so hopefully this doesn't take too long. Let's go ahead and finish this, and this will give us a lot of extra EXP as well on top of the symbols that we get. And there we go, we got our Vanishing Journey daily done. And this will give us a decent amount of EXP here. Even at level 209, it gives us about 10%, which is great. And of course, our 20 symbols as well. For these symbol dailies, I'm going to try to do these as often as possible so then we can get these upgraded. Again, this will give us a lot of extra damage and a lot of Arcane Force, which we will need definitely as we go down the Arcane River. As I was doing my dailies, one of the things I realized is that my character is still quite weak. I'm not really clearing the mobs as fast as I would like. Of course, this is because the character is basically brand new, but there are some really easy ways for us to get some pretty cheap damage. And the first thing that I'm going to do is actually claim a lot of these node stones that we were given by the event. From the Hyper Burning, once I hit level 200, they did give us a bunch of node stones, which I will now open. And these node stones will allow us to upgrade our V Matrix and a bunch of our 5th job skills. This looks like a lot of things, so I'll try my best to explain what's going on here. The first thing is that there are 3 different kinds of nodes. We have skill nodes, which are like our new 5th job skills. There are a few other ones that all classes have access to, and some class-specific ones as well, because my character is actually a warrior class. I do have access to some warrior-specific skills as well. These are basically just like your 4th job skills, where you'll be able to use them, and they give you either a new ability or, in some cases, new passives as well. The next thing that we have are these things called boost nodes, and these things allow you to boost the damage of your existing skills. Each of these nodes allow you to increase the damage of 3 different skills, as you guys can see here. And the whole point of this is just for you to be able to passively level up some damage skills. And that's the first thing that I kind of want to do, is just to figure out which of these skills I do actually need. For this, I do recommend you guys checking out your class discords. I have a link down in the description for all the class discords for the information required, and there's also other resources around as well, including the Grandest Library website. So do check them out if you're not too sure about your nodes and about a lot of things about your classes. Hopefully they will help you out a little bit more than I do. Each class has their own set of trios that they'll need to find, and we can try to find them using this boost node filler. So I will try to find and see if I have any of the ones that I currently need. So after a quick search, I've only found one of the trios that I do need. But thankfully, in this new iteration of the V Matrix, we'll actually be able to craft the ones that we need specifically. So this one is nice that we have already, but we'll be able to craft the ones that we need. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. As we progress this character as well, you'll be able to enhance the skills. You can see they slowly do level up, and this is how you get your 5th job skills getting stronger. And this will be a big part of our damage, and slowly we'll try to get as many of these skills as high as possible. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time off camera just trying to figure out my nodes, and I'll show you guys how to go about finding out your correct boost nodes. So I quickly went ahead and locked all the nodes that I needed, so then these guys don't get disassembled. You can see here some of them have a lock, and to simply do that you just need to right click on the node and then lock them. And once you find the nodes that you want to keep, you'll be able to disassemble the rest of them, and then you get something called node shards, which will allow you to use these shards to craft the correct nodes. So from the 100 nodes that we get, we probably won't get too many, but this will be a good start for us to try to get our skills and our boost nodes. In this newest update, we're actually able to craft the exact boost node that we need for our character. And because I only found 1 out of the 4 that I need, I'll have to craft the last 3. And I have kept some of the nodes here. You guys can see this is a level 4 node. It has the correct top line, but it doesn't have the correct other 2 skills. Same with this one over here. I should be able to craft the boost nodes that I need with this newest update. And there we go, we're actually able to pick the 3 skills. I'm going to go ahead and make the ones that I need. Each time that you do craft a specific boost node, it does cost quite a lot of node shards. You can see it costed 500 per custom boost node. So if you are actually kind of low on nodes, I would recommend just waiting a little bit, so then maybe you can unpack them. It probably wasn't the smartest thing, honestly, for me to have crafted those custom boost nodes, given how expensive it was, but I like the peace of mind knowing that I have the correct boost nodes that are required. So I think that is a small price to pay for a little bit of certainty for me. Just to round things off about the V Matrix, we do get something called these Matrix points, and what they basically let us do is level up the skills without having to actually have the correct boost nodes or skill nodes to improve them. Most classes will just try to max out each of these spaces as soon as possible, but because I am a Demon Avenger, there is some things I can do with this class that requires me to leave this at level 4, but typically you would just try to max out each of these individual areas. Now the next thing that we're going to try to do is just simply fill out the slots in our character. For our character, like I said, we only really have the Challenger gear that we've gotten from the event so far, and I kind of want to be able to fill out as many of these things as I can. Thankfully, one of them is very easy. We have this Eternal Flame ring that we got from our Burning character, so this is actually a really strong ring that we get for free. These event rings are quite powerful, they have very good base stats, and they are some of the better items that we can use to be able to make them into Mess or Drop gear later down the track. To start off, I would like to try to clear Zakum for the face and eye accessory. Chaos Zakum is also on our list for a eventual goal because it is part of our item burning, I believe. I think Chaos Zakum is the first thing that we'll need to try to do to be able to get a little bit of extra damage for our Challenger gear. I don't think I'm strong enough yet to do this boss, but we'll slowly make our way there. For now though, let's go ahead and do normal Zakum and see if we get any luck with these accessories. Unfortunately, no luck there with our Zakum run. We'll just be doing this every day to see if we can get the Iron Face accessory before we go ahead and try to clear Chaos Zakum. I would like to try to clear Chaos Zakum as soon as possible, just so then we can unlock the new upgrades for our Challenger gear. We are still quite a ways away, and with this character has a lot of room for growth, so I'm in no rush to try to clear Zakum just yet. Another thing that we can do to get this character stronger is simply by giving it Links in Legion. Because I am trying to do this character as sort of a brand new character, and I'm not trying to rush into anything. Also, so then the people who are new to the channel and new to the game can keep up, I don't really want to give myself all the Links in Legion straight away, otherwise I think this character will progress a little bit too quickly. So what I'm going to do is that every 5 levels or so, I will give myself 1 Link skill to slowly get this character stronger passively. It might be faster paced than other people might progress in this game, but I think in the way that the game has worked so far, getting stronger through Links and Legion is a lot easier than it used to be. These events give us a lot of free things. The events often give us a lot of different ways to get a lot of EXP, whether it be by potions or growth potions and small mini games. This is the easiest way that I could think of to give myself a slow and consistent boost while working on this character without giving it everything at the beginning. If you guys are interested in a from scratch series, please consider checking out my Battle Mage series where I hyperburn a new character and also work on my Links and Legion, and you guys can see my thought processes there. For this Demon Avenger at the moment, because it is level 209, I will allow it 2 Link skills, one for level 200 and one for level 205. And for the time being, I'm going to try to pick the ones that will give me the biggest boost, and this will vary character to character, but there are 2 off the top of my head that I would really like to have. The first Link skill that I would like to have is actually the Lin Link skill. From Lin, we get 3 things. We get boss damage, crit rate, and for Demon Avenger, I also get max HP, which translates to damage for me. Demon Avenger uses HP as its main stat, so this will give me 3 bonuses from just the Link skill. And for my second Link skill, I would like to have something that would benefit me in multiple ways, whether it be for training or for bossing. So I'm actually going to pick the Ho Young Link skill. This Link skill is also multi-purpose. It gives us IED for when we eventually boss, but more importantly, it allows us to do a little bit more damage. This will help us with our training, and this will help us a lot with just our dailies in general. Typically, the Ho Young Link skill is just a training link, but because my character doesn't really have anything, this also doubles up as a bossing link once we do that. And then to round things off, I will also be starting off with a fresh new Legion grid, and for the time being, I'll only put in the characters that I currently have in my links into this Legion board. All these characters have some benefits as well for just existing in the Legion grid. The Ho Young gives us 80 luck, as you guys can see here. Our Lin gives us 5% IED, which is really nice, and our Demon Avenger in fact also gives us 5 boss damage. Pretty nice amount of free stats here from just our Legion grid, even though it is only 3 characters. This will slowly expand, and by the time that I hit level 260, once we finish the hyper burning, I'll be able to probably play this character as per usual. There are so many things I would like to do with this character, but I'm going to try to take it a little bit at a time just to break things up and not to rush into things. And like I said, the first thing I really want to do is just to fill out our spots here. There aren't a lot of ways to fill out all of these accessories very conveniently, but there are some bosses that are actually really convenient for this. One of them is Zakum. Unfortunately, we didn't get his face and eye accessory, but the second one is Horntail. Most classes by the time they hit 5th job should be able to do Chaos Horntail even without funding. But with this character, we do have a little bit of Links and Legion, but more importantly, we do have this Challenger gear, which should make short work of Horntail. So I'm going to go ahead and do Chaos Horntail every day, and we're just kind of hoping to get multiple drops. He does drop a ring, a pendant, and a earring, and that should give us a decent amount of damage. Unfortunately for today, we only managed to get just the pendant, but that's okay. We'll be trying to do this boss every day, so then eventually we'll be able to get all the items from this boss. So I went ahead and had a quick read at the Demon Avenger Discord, just to understand what all my skills and all my buttons did. And I actually went inside and attacked Chaos Zakum for a little bit. I think I can actually clear the boss on day 1 here. My current damage isn't super high. It's currently sitting at 500k combat power. Most of this is just thanks to leveling up and also our Arcane symbol that we've gotten from the event, and especially because of these different armor pieces that we were given. With all these in combination with the 100 node stones that they gave us, at this bare minimum point, we might be able to clear Chaos Zakum. I don't think it'll be a fast run by any means, but it seems pretty doable. These items are actually quite strong, and one of the lacking features of a new character tends to be ignore defense. And because we have this full set of Challenger gear, it does give us a fair amount of IED, on top of the fact that each of these gears do give a lot of extra stat as well. So I'm actually going to go ahead and give Chaos Zakum a go. These are my stats going into this boss, sitting at 500k combat power or so, 80% IED, and about 100% boss damage. Let's see how this goes, and if we do manage to clear it, maybe we'll get lucky enough to get a face and eye accessory as well. Wow, and there we go. We actually were able to clear Chaos Zakum. This character was a lot stronger than I expected. I think definitely it was just a challenger armor, and yeah. Awesome clear. We managed to get our first weekly boss done, and it was literally on day 1, which is insane. We did manage to get a few items from the boss as well, which is really nice. We managed to get at least one of the accessories. We didn't manage to get the eye accessory, but I think that's okay. And on top of that, we do also have this belt that we can use for the time being. I don't think we'll be able to make too much use out of this belt because it is a level 150 belt. I'll explain this probably later down the track regarding why this isn't too useful, but hey, I'll take it for the time being because it is free damage. I think that the Zakum crystal should sell for about 50 mil or so, and this is just the start of a new character that will be able to clear some weeklies and then fund itself a little bit as well. Surprisingly, the Chaos Zakum crystal sells for a lot more. It's currently selling for 80 mil, which is really nice. That's more than I expected for sure. And just to round things off, because that was our actual item burning goal, this should be able to give us a new boost in the character. Now that we have this completed, I believe it upgrades all of our gear, if I'm not mistaken. And now we should be able to get this bonus rank up. I'm not sure exactly what this entails, but I believe it should upgrade all of the items that we currently have. And let's have a quick look to see what it actually did. And I'll be honest, at a glance, I cannot really tell what exactly they changed. So let's just put everything on again and see just how much combat power we actually gained from this. And it does look like we gained a little bit of combat power. I think originally we were at 560k, now we're at 590k. And with all those extra items that we just equipped from Chaos Zakum, we are currently sitting at 620 combat power. A pretty solid start. And just to round things off, we actually just had daily reset, so I'm going to go ahead and do all of my bosses again to see if we can get some additional drops just before we round out this video. And there we go, we finished up a few extra bosses and we got a few new items here. We got the earrings from Chaos Horntail, so we're only missing his ring now. And we also went ahead and did Arcane for the Mechanator pendant. This fills out our pendant slots for the time being quite nicely. I'm just going to probably wait for a Dominator pendant now. I'm not going to try to push these items too much, and yeah, that might still take quite a while, but we're going to try our best to do Arcane every day so then we can get a chance at his Dom pendant as well. For the totems, we'll probably have to go ahead and do Afterlands on it. And for the rings, this is going to be something that I'm going to have to try to figure out because we're only given one event ring from what I know of. I don't know if any of the other events at the moment give us any extra rings, but yeah, for the time being, we're only stuck with the event ring at the moment, and we'll just try our best to fill these out. And of course, we're still waiting for this eye accessory from Zakum. I went ahead and did it a second time, and it was unfortunately an extra condensed power crystal. I think though that'll be it for the time being. There are so many things that I need to do on this character to get it started, and honestly I'm already pretty happy that I was able to clear Chaos Zakum and get the first upgrade on our item burning. There are so many items here that can get a lot stronger, including our secondary and our emblem, and we'll just have to slowly improve this character over time. As of right now, our character is sitting at 660k combat power, and we are currently level 209 at the end of this first part. For a couple of goals for this character, the first thing, as I said, is to be able to fill out all our inventory here. We are still missing quite a lot of items, so being able to fill this out will be very nice. And I think as a level goal, I would like to try to hit level 235 as soon as possible. I don't really see myself training specifically on this character just yet because the character is still quite weak, and I don't really see myself being able to farm very efficiently on this character at all. But level 235 will unlock all the areas in the Arcane River, which will give us access to all of these dailies, which is actually a lot of EXP, and more importantly, just being able to make progress on our arcane symbols, which will be a pretty big component in our damage. In terms of our bossing, we will just slowly be working through this item burning progression here, and I think each of these individual levels gives us a pretty fair thing to aim for, so let's try to clear these bosses as we go along. Anyway guys, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys are excited about this character as much as I am. I have done a few hyperburns in the past, so hopefully you guys enjoy this one just as much. And if you are enjoying it, please give the video a like, it helps me out a lot. And if you guys are interested in keeping up with my progression, or you just like to share this progression with anybody, feel free to subscribe to the channel and share this video around. Thank you guys again. I really appreciate your guys' support. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.